Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this one I'll be changing out the door lock actuator on my 2011 Chevrolet Cruze. I'll have a step-by-step process along the video so you could follow along. Alright, so the first step is we're going to use a T20 Torx bit to take off the one bolt near the armrest. And after that there is another T20 bolt behind the door handle. So first we're going to remove the plastic cap. Okay, and after that we're going to remove the side mirror plastic trim. And all you got to do is pry on both sides like I'm doing and it should come off. Okay, so the next step is we're going to remove the outer window trim, and there's nothing holding this one, so all you got to do is pry on it. Okay, so now we're ready to remove the door panel, and the way to remove it is we're going to pry on all four corners and it should just pop out. Okay, and for the top part you want to pry upwards because the top part of the door panel is tucked in where the window area is, so you want to pry upwards for that one. So here's the trick: instead of fighting with it, all you want to do is give one good pull, like a kind of like a burst motion, and it should come up. Okay, now that we popped the door panel off, there's still two things holding it. The first is we're going to unhook the door handle cable. And after that we're going to remove the connector for the window switches. Okay, so now that the door panel is completely off, you could set it aside. And now we're just going to peel back the plastic to expose the inside of the door. Okay, so the next step is we're going to use a T30 Torx bit to remove the two bolts holding on the door lock actuator. Okay, here I'm just removing the tabs for the wiring harness, so it's going to give me more space to work with. Okay, so the next step is we're going to remove the hook that's attached to the outer door handle. So for this I'm using a pry bar to pry on the plastic tab, because they're on there pretty tight. So I'm prying with one hand, and with the other hand I'm holding the door lock actuator because it is loose right now, and you'll need to hold it to make sure you could pry that tab out. Okay, so once it's open, now you can push the metal rod out. Okay, and after that we're going to remove the electrical connector, and to do that you want to push up on the red tab with a small pick, and then the connector should just come out. So now we're going to remove the hook for the manual unlock. So this hook is to unlock the car from the outside with the key. So if ever the battery on your remote dies, you could use your key to unlock the car manually. And this hook is only found on the driver's side. So if you're doing the passenger side door lock, you won't find this hook. Okay, so there's one more thing to remove, and that's the cable for the inside door handle. Okay, so now that the cable's off, it should give you enough space to take out the actuator. Okay, so there's 4 things that we need to remove to put on the new door lock actuator. So the first rod is for the remote lock and unlock. Okay, and the second rod is for the manual key unlock from the outside of the car. And like I said, that's only found in the driver's side door lock actuator. So if you're doing the passenger side, you won't have this one. And the third rod is linked with the outside door handle. And lastly, it's the cable that links the actuator with the inside door handle. Okay, here I'm just showing you how all the rods are connected. It's pretty simple. And before putting back the door lock actuator inside the door, we're going to attach the remote lock and unlock rod and the rod for the manual unlock. Okay, so now that we're ready for reassembly, we're just going to feed the cable through the hole on the plastic cover. Okay, so now we're going to put the door lock actuator in place. Okay, so the first rod, we're going to slide it through the rubber grommet on the top. And then we want to secure the second rod like I'm doing here. And now for the last rod, we're going to secure it on the top hole there. So now that it's secured from the top, we're going to pry on the plastic tab and then secure it from the bottom. And after that, we're going to secure the cable like I'm doing here. The next step is put the connector back on. And after that, we're going to secure the 2 bolts back on. and then reattach the wiring harness. After that, we're going to put back the plastic cover that we peeled off, and if it's not sticking too well, you could always use some tape. Okay, so now we're ready to put back the door panel, and before we do that, we're going to remove the plastic tabs that were left behind when we took off the door panel. And then you want to put them back on the door panel like I'm doing here. It's just going to make it easier when we line up the door panel and push everything back in. Okay, so to put back the door panel, the rod that's sticking out, we want to feed it through the hole of the door panel. And after that, we're going to tuck in the part right in front of the window. Okay, and here you want to make sure you line up as many plastic tabs as you can, because it's going to make it easier to secure the door panel. And you really have to make sure that the plastic tabs line up with the hole, or else once you go in to push it, you're just going to break the tab. So just take your time for this one. After that, we're going to put back the outer window trim. And then the side mirror plastic cover. And after that, we're going to secure the two T20 bolts. And that's it, we're done. So all you want to do now is test out your remote and your lock unlock from the inside, as well as your door handle from the outside and your door handle from the inside. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll be glad to help you out. Thanks.